Hello, my name is Amanda Church, and this is my technology book review. So for my technology book review, I read Pure Genius, Building a Culture of Innovation and Taking 20% Time to the Next Level by Don Wittrick. In Pure Genius, the main theme of the book is innovation, and Don explains how you can become an agent of change in order to prepare your students for their futures, teach them to think for themselves, and empower them with the spirit of innovation. So just a little background, an innovation class is one in which students can have time and space to create their own learning experiences and collaborate with experts from around the world. It's also a place where students learn by doing and creating rather than passively listening to a set of directions and predetermined outcomes. So similar concepts like this are also called 20% time, Genius Hour, Google Time, and Makerspaces. An educator can label it whatever makes them comfortable. Don just wants to encourage more educators, students, and parents to sharpen their skills of innovation, expand their opportunities for collaboration, and learn how to amplify their message via social media every day and in every class. About Don. Don's an innovation specialist. He's served in education for the past 16 years. He's an educational and innovation consultant and speaker. He's passionate about educational opportunities and promoting digital tools to students. He's lectured across the U.S. and Europe about collaboration, social media use, and environments that enable innovation. And he is also the founder of Start Ed Up. It's an organization dedicated to help transform the school culture toward innovation and enable student-led entrepreneurship. My review and thesis of the book. So this book was written with teachers in mind, and it allows the reader to gain insight and see the experiences that Don had during his career as an educator. The book is relatable because he shares his personal journey of encountering failure and success while implementing innovation class projects in his classroom. He explains how collaboration and using social media in the classroom can help educators create interesting and even life-changing opportunities for learning. Why I really value Don's perspective and what he has to say is because he's not some self-proclaimed expert who's never taught or worked with children. In his book, he includes several examples and written testimonies from previous students who participated in the innovation class project to provide insight into what's working and what isn't. Summary. This book sets the vision for what is possible and starts a dialogue to move things forward. Educators all share the common goal of engaging students and getting them to take ownership of their learning experiences. Allow for trial and error. This book also encourages all educators to incorporate more innovation and collaboration into our curriculum as soon as possible. Teachers need to be innovators first, then model that behavior for our students. If the culture of innovation is started early, Don believes that students will be better prepared for college and become true agents of change as innovators. Analysis and evaluation. Innovation brings new solutions to problems that arise in a changing environment. I agree with Don that the factory model of education, the one that educates students based on age group in preparation for assembly line and office cubicle jobs, no longer works, and our current system doesn't address the demands of these changes. The quote that really stuck out to me was when Don's father gave him advice before his first year of teaching, and he said, "Don, I don't care if you teach 20 years, just don't teach 1 year 20 times." And I thought that was pretty powerful. Innovation uses a fresh approach to solving real problems with the resources you have and finding clever ways around the resources you don't have. Innovation starts at the teacher level, and teachers must be innovative in their approach to teaching, learning, and designing new experiences. Students are asked to take ownership of their education. I love the idea that students take ownership of their education. So instead of teachers putting a standard on the board and telling students how to meet it, students are given the challenge to prove they have mastered the required standards, and they're also given the freedom to choose the method for completing the projects they choose. Pursuing anything valuable or important means you have to be willing to fail. Constraints lead to creativity, So let's provide our students with experiences to grow by collaborating, creating a culture of positive failure, and allowing them the freedom to research and pursue what is important to them. Embracing failure is important, but there's a powerful difference in learning from a completed project that didn't work out versus failing because they chose instead to wait around for something to happen. 6 building blocks of innovative learning. Collaborative. This means more than working with fellow students. Task-oriented. Helps students move from idea to action. Great projects have several daily and weekly task deadlines. Daring. Fear of failure makes students study hard, but just cramming for a test, then forgetting everything you studied, diminishes the actual learning process. Teachers need to create a culture that accepts and encourages failure as part of the learning process. When students know they can trust the teacher will not punish them for trial and error learning, they'll start to push the limits of meaningful projects. A great point that Dawn made in the book was that if a lesson is learned perfectly the first time, was it really worth learning? And I think teachers need to keep in mind that we need to put the focus on the process of creativity and development, not on earning a grade for compliance. Relevant. Offer the opportunity to work on relevant projects is another way to pique students' interest, engagement, and increase their retention of knowledge. Reflective. Reflecting provides an opportunity to correct mistakes and identify necessary improvements for the next task. This practice applies to students as well as teachers. Ongoing. We should all be lifelong learners, always growing and always adapting. It's important to encourage student action beyond the classroom. So these 6 building blocks are necessary whether you're devoting an entire class or a portion of class period daily or weekly to student-defined passion-based projects. Social media and teachers. Sharing culture is the special sauce of social media. And in the book he addressed Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and YouTube. And Dawn is convinced that teachers need to embrace social media and that our students need to be connected as well. Ever since he started utilizing social media platforms, he says he's become a better teacher and a more responsible role model. Through social media, he was able to reach out to other educators where they shared their notes, lesson plans, and even the syllabus to their classes. He was shocked that teachers were willing to share everything because he has a very competitive nature. However, all the resources they provided helped him become a better teacher and taught him about being open and wanting to make other teachers more effective through collaboration. So he transformed from a teacher who was trying to beat other schools to one who understands that collaborating openly with other schools makes us all more successful. Social media allows us to celebrate and share best practices within the school and across the country. Social media and students. Social media can be dangerous, which is why training is so important. Imagine the advantage when employers and college admissions officers see talents and great work on display. A strong professional network can help point you and your students to success. Deleting old accounts or cleaning up posts and taking responsibility for past negative transgressions are steps in the right direction. Social media sites can be valuable tools, so not allowing the sites on the school network won't discourage students from using them. I agree with the point that Dawn made when he raised the question, isn't a greater service to teach students how to use social media safely and appropriately? His chapter regarding this topic was very insightful, and I encourage all teachers and parents to read this. Conclusion. Like Dawn wrote in his book, educators need to band together and show the world that education is moving in the right direction. Being transparent and media savvy will demonstrate that education is moving forward and adapting to the changing landscape of what a school is designed to provide. This book is a must-read for all educators, and thank you for listening.